I couldn't resist.
And the game has started, and I'm actually in the game for once.
Oh
Game
my
4 is
god.
on Metalopolis between oGsMC and Gigabyte. We, World Elite, LoveCD.
Yeah, I think there's like a 2012 in there too, but it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And you can't put numbers on BattleNet, so
Yeah, I
yeah.
said Gigabyte, and then I remembered all of the other things, and then I was like, uh-oh. So here we are in Game 4. We've got LoveCD, the blue Protoss. He's going to be spawning in at the 12 o'clock position here on Metalopolis, and his opponent, oGsMC, is currently up 2-1, is over here at the 9 o'clock. And we're in close ground positions on Metalopolis. This is not a version of Metalopolis that has these close ground positions blocked, and that's really going to change the game up.
Yeah, this is the latter version of Metalopolis, and we've seen this before. With PvP, it's not as big of a deal as some of those other matchups. The main issue is going to be with those 4 gates. You know, like we were talking about on Tal'Darim, one of the ways that you stop a 4 gate is by killing that proxy pylon. And, well, you kill the proxy pylon in close positions on Metalopolis, and, well, you saved yourself 2 seconds on the reinforcements from your opponent. It's not quite as big of a deal in these spots. So no offensive 4-gate, which we've seen from MC quite a few times so far. MC so far, the name of the game from him has been aggression. We've seen 2 aggressive 4-gates and an attempted cannon rush. He's really trying to take it to LoveCD so far, so these positions should be pretty good for MC, I'd be thinking right now at this point.
Yeah, MC has really been showing that his stellar mechanics are probably the most stable way for him to secure wins in this matchup. And right now he is going to be going straight to scout out that close ground position, isn't going to get mixed up between the ladder version and a non-ladder version of this map. As we've seen some players make in other events, but neither of these players are going to fall for that right now. We're going to see identical openings so far out of both of these players, as we've got the 1 gateway and the gas pylons going down on 15. But it does look like LoveCD is just a few milliseconds ahead in his build, and that might start to show up as a bit of an advantage in the later stages of the game, as those small timings start to compound on each other.
Yeah, one thing that, you have to keep in mind here is that we've still seen that pretty stubborn insistence from LoveCD to get Blink pretty quickly in every game. If you look at it, even when he was going for the 4-gate or the defensive 4-gate, he followed that up immediately with Blink. And that's something that he did in the semifinals. We've seen him do that in the past as well. And MC is a really good at, when he notices a weakness in a build, abusing it. Like, if you do the same build to him several times in a row in a long series, this is about the point in that series where he just says, you know what, I think I can kill you if I make this adjustment. So this is a pretty crucial game. I think the same thing happens in the semifinals, where he noticed that his opponent was 4-gating him every game, and he went for a really aggressive Dark Templar rush. And even though it was held off, like, he force-fielded the ramp, he kept him out of the base. The Dark Templars, he had to block his ramp with his army while he was waiting for the Observer to get out. MC, like, still did a decent amount of damage to his opponent's army, and then he just, like, morphed them all into Archons and 4-gated him with, like, 2 Archons, and still, like, killed him, just because his opponent was so weak against that Dark Templar opening, since he was going 4-gate every game. But LoveCD is going for a 4-gate, and MC has not dropped his extra gateways yet.
No, MC is instead opting for a little bit more economy right now. As we can see, the supply differential right now is only 2, and those 2 are entirely in probes for MC. He's going to be adding on a pair of gateways right now, as well as the 3rd gas that he has not actually started using yet. I'm really just looking for a robotics bay or something like that to see what he's planning on doing with these extra probes, these extra resources, as LoveCD's forward pylon is going to go down, and MC was moving some stalkers around the map, but he did not scout that out, and that is going to be pretty crucial, as taking out that forward pylon in a very aggressive 4-gate scenario like we're going to see out of LoveCD in just a few seconds here is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and LoveCD actually got up the ramp there, and he saw a lot of really good information with that stalker. Like, he saw 3 gateways and a sentry. So he's got a pretty good idea that MC's playing this out of defensive posture. MC doesn't even have a 4th gateway on the way. And MC is one of those guys where he defends a 4-gate with 3. And he's done that in the past. I've seen him do it. It's tough. It doesn't always work.
Wow.
But, he's done that in the past. He's now got the Twilight Council on the way. No, he's going to cancel that and drop his 4th gate a little bit later. So he's deciding he's not quite going to go for that 3-gate blink build. He can't really be affording to start that blink this late anyways. So he's going to throw that extra resource into the 4th gateway a little bit late, go for the defensive 4-gate. And LoveCD's actually backing off because he saw a decent number of sentries. The first force field was really good. And now that he's backed off, MC is actually going to beat him to blink? Really? That's, like, I haven't seen anybody do that yet.
You know, I have to wonder if MC is actually going to try and read into this. And look at this expansion for LoveCD over here at the bottom right corner of the map. And if this doesn't get scouted out, that is going to mean an explosion of economy in the next few minutes of the game. But MC does look like he's going to be gearing up for a bit of a timing attack here. The question is whether he's going to go for blink or if he's going to try to get Dark Templar and catch him off guard. And it does look like he is going to go for blink.
Yeah, actually, LoveCD did this against LoveCT in the semifinals in one of the games. He hit that Nexus, and it's so powerful in Protoss vs. Protoss, because when you've got that Nexus on the way, you got 400 minerals that's not in your army. It's such a huge vulnerability. If your opponent knows that it's happening, they just kill you. But in this situation with the hidden Nexus, if it doesn't go scouted, it's such a huge advantage once that expansion is up. So the main question is, will MC actually scout for this, knowing that this is something that he did in the semifinals? Because, I mean, MC... he's one of the guys, he takes this super seriously. He goes back, he studies his opponent. I can pretty much guarantee you he's gone back and watched the games from the semifinals by now. So he knows that his opponent did this in one of the games previously, but he's not really going to be able to scout this in time, it doesn't look like, because LoveCD, he's moving in, he's applying pressure here down at the natural. The main issue here is what LoveCD is doing right now usually indicates that there's an expansion on the map. When a Protoss player hangs out at the bottom of your ramp like that, but isn't attacking up and being aggressive, so MC is actually reading that, realizing that he has a pretty strong army. He's going to bust out of his base and go for the counterattack, even though he hasn't scouted this expansion, because LoveCD kind of showed his hand by the way he was positioning himself there at the bottom of the ramp.
Yeah, and LoveCD actually threw down a Forge. He's going to use that to get a cannon down at the top of his ramp, knowing that he's got himself pretty far behind trying to get that expansion up right now. It's a black count 66 to 52 as MC blinks on top of the ramp. Stalkers are going to be focusing down the Stalkers of LoveCD. The remaining army of MC is cut down at the bottom by those force fields, but there's just not enough for LoveCD as the Stalkers for MC make their way up to the top. Probes are going to come off the line. The cannon has gone down. And right now, LoveCD is in a pretty rough position. Next round of Warpins is about to come in as a Chronoboost goes down on those gateways, but LoveCD throws out the GG, and MC is going to go up 3-1 in this best-of-7 series.
Yeah, and I think that was a pretty crucial mistake by LoveCD, moving back down to the natural of MC like that, showing him just how big his army was. Because in that situation, like, leaving his opponent in the dark and not having information is the strongest, tool he has while he's going for that hidden expansion. He positioned his arm and he sat down there and he wasn't really posturing aggressively. And that's a very, very common thing you do while you're trying to secure an expansion. So MC being a really good player, he's really good at reading his opponents. He sees that and he's like, okay, he's trying to expand right now. I've got a big army, and he just goes for the counterattack. And it caught LoveCD at a really tough spot. I think if LoveCD sat back in his base and refused to give MC any information about his army, he was just starting to mine at his hidden expansion. He probably would have been able to get up some extra gateways. And then he probably would have been in a much better situation. I think showing his army right there was a very, very crucial mistake.
Yeah,